Welcome everybody. It's Bully here. Um, Getting back into the mock draft season. This is when everybody starts trying to figure out where these NFL teams are going to go in the 2024 NFL draft. I did have a podcast that I ran called the Sit Down Sports Podcast. Tried to do it with my other friends, but they kind of left me high and dry. And then they have the accounts, of course, after I paid for the logos and everything, and I can't get back into them. So gonna be doing it on my personal account for now until I start up a new one. But so yeah, we're gonna do all teams. Sorry, I'm kind of sick, so I'm not in like the greatest mood. But we'll do 2 rounds, I guess. Um, then we'll do we're all for trading, just in case we want to make some trades. I don't know yet. I'm gonna do it by the seat of my pants here. So my first one of the year. So see how it goes. Into the draft room. Okay. So the Chicago Bears still have the first pick of the draft. Um, what's the question? Question is, are they going to stick with Justin Fields again after they had the #1 overall pick again last year? Um, I don't know if the problem is Justin Fields or not. Um, I think he's an okay quarterback. I think he's fine. I think they could build around him still, but I think that you're not going to get too many chances. Like if you're picking one again years in a row, it's like kind of telling you that maybe you should move on and draft a quarterback here because you're not going to have the #1 overall pick that many times in a row. Probably not. So you might as well take your shot while you can have it. Plus, you bring in a rookie on a cheaper contract, and you could trade Justin Fields. You could probably get, I would think, maybe a second or at least third out of him if you send him elsewhere. Um, but I think that's. I mean, you could go Marvin Harrison Jr. and get him another weapon to go alongside DJ Moore, but um, I think that they're going to take a shot at quarterback and move on from Fields. And my #1 quarterback is going to be Drake May. So I'm going to start the draft here. And I'm going to select Drake May for the Bears here. Um, Obviously, either going to be May or Caleb Williams, but I am not the biggest fan of Caleb Williams. He might be able to ball, but I think he's going to have an attitude problem. And I wouldn't want that on my team personally. So I'm going to take the shot at May. Maybe the Bears can turn things around. New England's up with the second pick. Mac Jones is complete trash. Sorry, but he is. So that being the case, they're probably going to go quarterback as well. Kind of what everybody has. 1 and 2, Drake May and Caleb Williams in most people's drafts. At least how it sits right now. This is the updated draft order. Um, based upon record so far for this. So I'm sure it might change in these last couple weeks here, but right now it's going to be Caleb Williams. Go to New England. I don't know if Belichick's going to stay or not. I think it's pretty clear now after all these years that maybe Belichick isn't the coach that we all think he really is. Maybe Brady just carried him to his success. That's what I'm starting to believe. Um, because I don't think Mac Jones had a terrible skill set. He wasn't a mobile quarterback, but he could process the field well coming out of college. And I just think they ruined him there, really. I think maybe if he gets a shot somewhere else, he could reap himself a little bit. But no receiving weapons for him, no tight end to throw to, like, top tier guys at least. I mean, like, what do you want the man to do? I guess, but they go quarterback there. Arizona's up. Guess they're gonna roll with Kyler Murray still, which you might as well. He's not a terrible quarterback. I'm just not a huge fan, but he does pretty well. He just hurt this season, for the most of the so I think you get him a big play weapon, and the best player in the draft is Marvin Harrison Jr. You can have him run alongside Marquise Brown. They need some help there as far as their receiving core is, you know, I mean, they took Michael Wilson last year, and we haven't really seen a whole lot from him. So you already look like you got a good tight end with McBride going. Marquise Brown is serviceable. Get you a number one target, Marvin Harrison Jr., and then address the defense the rest of this draft because. So now Washington is up with the 4th pick. You go back and forth tackles, edge, because they traded away Chase Young, so still some edge position. I think they're okay at receiver, at least for now. It's not a bad thing to add some talent there as well. Or they could go Brock Bowers, have an elite tight end, replace old washed up Logan Thomas, who's still performing at a decent level, or as his career is concerned. But I think you got to protect Sam Howell if that's going to be your guy, and have your choice of the top tackle in the draft. Personally, that's where I'd go because I think tackle drops off the table deeper in the deeper rounds, where edge you might be able to get a fairly good edge maybe in the 2nd round or so. So we're gonna go with Olu Fashanu here for the Washington Commanders. Chicago Bears back on the board. For me right here, I'm looking at Joe Alt, come play tackle to protect May that you just drafted. I think Braxton Jones played like well enough this year that uh, I'm gonna go get Malik Neighbors for the Bears and pair an elite talent up with DJ Moore that Drake May could possibly have some success. I mean, tackle would obviously help as well, but um, I don't know. Now I'm second guessing my thoughts. Yeah, I'm still gonna go Neighbors. Screw it. Jets are up here at pick 6. No questions about it for me. This is gonna go Alt here at tackle. They've been struggling to find a left tackle that's going to work out. Mekhi Becton hasn't turned out real well. They have some pieces on the O-line, but they need to solidify the edge there, so they get the 2nd best tackle in the draft. They've needed a tackle for like 3 straight years, so they get one here. New York Giants are up, and they could go a couple different ways. They need receivers bad. I mean, all the receivers are basically like the same profile player. They're smaller slot characters, and they need like a bigger outside target. Jalen Hyatt is a bigger target, but he's just like a downfield burner type of receiver, not like a combat catch type guy. So they could go there, but I think that they're not gonna have a pick. I don't think this high again, like next couple years, or maybe they would, but I think when you're sitting here at 7, I think they're gonna want to get away from Daniel Jones at some point. So Jaden Daniels is the big talk of the draft. He you know, probably going to be the Heisman Trophy winner, but he is still a little raw. So worst case scenario, you bring him in and maybe sit him just 1 year behind Jones to learn before you throw him right out there to the Wolves. But um, I think he's a lot more dynamic of a quarterback, of course, than Daniel Jones. And I think Daniel Jones' time is up in New York. So we're going to go Jaden Daniels with the 7th pick. Tennessee is up. They would have really liked to tackle as well, which they could still go there. J.C. Latham is good enough for this spot. Amarius Mims has a higher ceiling from what I hear than the tackles left, but he's raw as well. So they could just go big time, get Brock Bowers here. They don't have a tight end like a Quan Crow or whatever his name is not the answer there. Um, they could go corner as well. Receivers on the table because they've missed on a couple of their draft picks when it comes to that position. So, with that being the case, I don't feel like going in on J.C. Latham here. I think they need to add some weapons. Simple as that. You can't just run Derrick Henry out there every play. I know they have DeAndre Hopkins, but he's going to be probably on the outs soon. So get yourself somebody that's going to come in and help the team away, help Will Levis succeed. So I'm going to go with Keon Coleman here for the Titans at pick 8. All right, New Orleans is up at pick 9. They could go edge. They could go with J.C. Latham at tackle. They could do that as well. Or they could go Brock Bowers. His name's going to come up a lot because he's a probably top 2 talent in this draft. But how much do you want to spend on tight end? We saw Kyle Pitts go with the 8th pick a couple years back, and obviously it's the Falcons ruining him. But was it worth the 8th pick? Probably not. So with that being the case, I'm going to go with J.C. Latham here for get them a tackle that they need. Tampa Bay, they need edge. They could use a receiver if Mike Evans come back because contract's expiring. They could also go Brock Bowers too. Cade Otton is, you know, really you could do whatever you want here with this spot. You could even go quarterback, but I wouldn't take any of the others this early, in my opinion, like Penix or Bo Nix. 10th pick. I don't know. I think it's just a risk. But everybody invests high on quarterbacks regardless because that's the most important position on the field. But I think Baker's done enough this year to at least earn him another season. So we're going to go with Latu Latu at edge. Help them get some better pass rush. He's been the most productive edge in this class this year. But some people shy away from him because he had a bad neck injury. So, will it come up again? I don't know, but playing well right now. So I wouldn't worry about the injury. Just get the most productive pass rusher in this class. Las Vegas Raiders up at pick 11. I would really love to go quarterback here, and I know I just talked about the previous pick being a little too early for these guys, but Las Vegas is in shambles. I mean, they can't figure it out at quarterback. Like, only other place I would go at this spot would be a corner because they don't have any lockdown guys besides like Nate Hobbs is pretty good, but other than that, their secondary is complete garbage. But in this spot, dude, I don't know. It sounds weird to pass up on I mean, they just took Michael Mayer, so they're not gonna try to go for Bowers here. I don't think. They could go get a receiver or something, but I just think they need to take a shot at one of these quarterbacks because it's not looking too good. So I don't know which one I like better between Penix and Bo Nix. Both pretty close in my book. Bo Nix is going to be a little bit more of a pocket type pass. I mean, they're both pocket passers, but they both have decent ability as well. So it really just depends on like more. And at stage, excuse me, I think I like Penix a little bit more. And I'm literally only going off of the Washington-Oregon game. And I think he outplayed Bo Nix and they won the game. So go with Penix here, Raiders. Los Angeles Chargers up. They need secondary help. They need possibly some weapons to add. I don't know if Eckler is coming back. He could be gone as well, but it's too early for any of these running backs in this class. So, with that being the case, we're gonna roll with. Trying to see where like Brock Bowers is gonna end up falling probably because he's too good. Like the Chargers could really use him here. I mean, they've been relying on like Gerald Everett and shit for like the last 3 years. Maybe they add that or corner. It's one of the two. So, I just think he's just too good to pass up. I'm gonna go Brock Bowers for the Chargers here at 12. Denver is up. They could use edge, um, or basically just D-line help in general. Or they could go receiver because Judy's probably gone, and Judy maybe he succeeds elsewhere, but it just ain't working out where he's at. They throw the ball to Cortland Sutton every play pretty much. It's like their only guy that does anything over there. So I'm just gonna send it on. I'm gonna send it on Rome Odunze for Denver. Get them a target opposite side of Cortland Sutton if he walks, and if Judy doesn't walk, I'd throw maybe Judy in the slot or something. See how that goes. He's a fluid route runner. Uh, Buffalo's up. They would have really liked that pick today. I was thinking about passing on him, but I don't want to be setting up other teams' pick that I'm on. So here, Buffalo. Kind of a hard spot because I would have taken receiver, but I'm not really feeling like a Buka or anything for this. I mean, there's plenty of good receivers, like even down the line, so maybe we can wait on that. So in this case, like they could use a corner, because opposite Tre'Davious White, I don't, it's not. Or maybe, you know what? Actually, I changed my mind. I'm gonna go with, I'm still going secondary, but I'm gonna go with Cooper or pick 14. Sounds a little crazy that he would go over Kool-Aid McKinstry and Wiggins, but he he could play anywhere in the secondary. Like you could put him at safety, and I know Micah Hyde and Gordon Poyer. I don't know if both of their contracts are up, or at least one of them is. So they might be out the door. You could grab DeJean, play him at corner, play him at safety. There's some versatility there, so maybe they go with that. Um, that way, whatever way it works out, if they resign those safeties or not, flexible. So that Seattle stayed put, and they're gonna go with an edge, either that or Jazon Newton, one of the two. It's gonna be D line for me here. Um, and like I said, I think there's some edges. Like none have even gone off the board yet at this point, except for Latu. We're gonna go get Jazon Newton because I don't think like the interior D line as deep as the edges are in this class. So we're gonna go with Newton here for Seattle. Rams are up now. I feel like they could go edge as well, corner. After losing Jalen Ramsey, they could definitely go corner or edge to help Aaron Donald out on the edge. Really pick your poison. Um, stage. We're gonna go with Kool-Aid McKinstry here for the Rams. Get them a lockdown corner because they're getting fried on the back end for sure. Cincinnati is up. They pretty much just either tackle or like a tight end, like a nice tight end would be sweet, but Bowers is already gone. They could use a receiver if T. Higgins doesn't resign. I think he's a free agent. But the only one you can go with here is a Igbuka. Really? I mean, you could go with some other options, but I don't know about this early. So with that being the case, we're going to take Amarius Mims, tackle out of Georgia. They like the upside of him. Come in and play tackle for you because like Lyle Collins and stuff hasn't really worked out like they thought he would. So they're going to go tackle there. The edges are falling. My mock draft right now. Not really sure why, but it's okay because we're going to find spots for them all soon. Pittsburgh's up. This is my team, my hometown team. Everybody keeps mocking freaking Kalen King to us because they're going to pair him up with Joey Porter Jr. Penn State mates. I'm not loving that. If Nate Wiggins is sitting here, I'd rather have him as a corner. Um, We don't really need edge. Go Emeka Egbuka and get Deontay Johnson the hell out of here because he can't catch a football. Or you got Pickens, who all of a sudden is acting like a 4-year-old, which I somewhat get because he doesn't get the ball thrown to him with ridiculous talent. Um, you know what? We're just gonna like I've been watching obviously the Steelers all my life, and Joey Porter Jr. was such a great pick because he's locking down the one side, and corners have always been a problem in Pittsburgh, as far as I can remember. So we're gonna go get two dogs on the outside and stop allowing us to get balled on through the air. So we already have a good defensive front. We get tons of sacks. Seal it up on the back end. We're going Nate Wiggins for there at 18. Atlanta's up. All these edges fell to them. They could either go Ibuka because they only have Drake London, but they also don't throw the football. They could go with Bo Nix here at 19, which they're pretty much one of the only quarterback needy teams left besides Minnesota if they get away from Kirk Cousins. So with that being the case, maybe we could wait to the second round because if nobody else goes QB besides Minnesota, but that's the thing though, Bo Nix is the only one I'd want to take a stab at. Um, so you know what, we're just gonna do it because Atlanta's offense is like Desmond Ritter shouldn't even be in the league in my opinion. He's trash. I don't know what happened to Heineke. I actually liked him as a backup, but he's not any good either this year. So let's just go get Bo Nix right now and see if they can turn the offense around so they don't have to run the ball the entire game. Green Bay's up. They could go. They need some. You know what? They need a tackle. Um, and as far as what's left here, let me see. Yeah, I mean, Fuaga falling to you here, even though he's 24th ranked prospect on NFL mock draft database. Um, Graham Barton's probably a guard in the NFL, and some of these other guys are serviceable. But if you get Fuaga here, I think you do it. And like, only other place I would go would probably be receiver or corner, but I think you have a decent little young core there at receiver. Like Jaden Reed has been pretty good. Um, Christian Watson was excellent last year, hurt this year, but I think he's fine. And Romeo Dubs is like a decent fucking receiver. So I would just kind of hold off on that. Maybe they could get one in the second round and get Fuaga here, protect Jordan Love, and he's also a mauler in the run game, so get that going. The run games look pretty shit for them this year as well. All right, Minnesota is up. Um, these edges shouldn't be falling this far. They're lucky that they're going to get their hands on a couple of them. Well, I mean, they're going to get their hands on one of the top tier edges. Can't believe they fell to 21, but this is how mock drafts go. So for me, it's going to be Jared Verse. He's going to Minnesota in case what's his name doesn't come back. Damn it. Y'all know who I'm talking about. He's actually having a good season here. Hunter, in case he doesn't come back. Arizona's up now. They're gonna go and get one of these edges as well because their defense is pretty much shot. So anywhere on the defense is fine. So with these talents here left, at pick 22, easy choice. We're gonna go with um, kind of like the freakier athlete, like Chop Robinson. Maybe like the ceiling's higher than Turner. Plus, Penn State defensive line players are always good. Let's just go with Chop Robinson there at 22. And Indianapolis is up now. I happen to like Josh Downs pretty much. Pittman's good, obviously. Downs is going to be in your slot. Another outside receiver with like or something, but he kind of profiles more as a slot as well. And I don't think you pass up on Dallas Turner if he's still sitting here, so we're going to take him at 23. Houston's up at 24. It would be a nice story to pair Egbuka back up with Stroud, but Tank Dell is already kind of like your slot player, and I mean Egbuka can play both slot and outside, but I don't know. I think D'Amico Ryans is gonna want to add to the defense because their offenses look pretty damn good this year. Stroud's balling out. Um, Noah Brown has looked even pretty decent, like their third string receiver. Joe Collins is great. I would just go with the defense here. We're gonna get Braylon Trice to go on the other side of Bill Anderson Jr. that they drafted last year. Kansas City's up, no question about it. It's gonna be a Mecca Egbuka. They need wide receivers. You took Rashee Rice, he looked okay, but you're missing like I don't know. You're definitely missing a slot player. You've got guys that can extend the field. You could have combat catch guys, but you don't have anybody like working underneath really. So I'm gonna take Egbuka, sorry, and put him in the slot. Jacksonville is up now. They could go really anywhere, to be honest. Um, they kind of need some interior line players, which is why I'm gonna go with Graham Barton here, and he's gonna kick into guard for them. Or he can play center too, I believe. So he could, well, just some versatility on the offensive line. They need help on the offensive line. Get a guy that can play any of the positions. Dallas is up here, and we're gonna go with Terry and Arnold. Get somebody opposite of Diggs secondary. I mean, I know there's that uh, Bland or whatever who's balling out, lots of picks and stuff like that. But it never hurts to add to secondary. So we're gonna go there. I mean, they could have went receiver possibly and get somebody to replace Brandon Cooks, but I don't. The other receivers, they're good, but they're more kind of like second round, late first, second round kind of guys. So it's fine. Detroit, they're gonna go. They just Mari Lassiter just feels like the pick to me. They need secondary anywhere on the secondary because they get torched. They put up a lot of points, but they give up a lot of points. And Dan Campbell seems to love them Georgia Bulldogs, so gonna go Lassiter there. San Francisco's up. They also have problems in the secondary. So we're gonna go with Kalen King. San Francisco, their defensive front is seal it up on the back end. Baltimore, same story here. Corner, edge. Um, they could use safety. They could use another receiver, which is what I'm probably gonna end up doing, because Odell Beckham is shit. Dave Flowers is nice. After that, there's nothing. So we're gonna go with Zay is already, the smaller type of receiver. You could run him, plays both outside and slot, but I'll probably be looking for a bigger receiver here with this pick. So I'm looking at either Xavier Worthy or Xavier Legette, both of the Xaviers. We're going to take the shot on Legette, I think. Big body receiver, still pretty fast. Combat catch, kind of freak athlete, good deal. Kind of a crazy receiver, but we're going to go with him. Miami's up. They need offensive line. Basically, that's it. I mean, you could go with a tight end, but this tight end class is pretty dog water. Tavion Sanders is the only other one I would grab this early, but still too early for him in my opinion. So we're gonna look on the offensive line. We're gonna go with Morgan out of Arizona for Miami. Happen to like him best out of the tackles that are left. Philadelphia is up. No question about it. Every single year Philly just sits there with the last pick or whatever, and continue to add talent to their roster, guys that fall or whatever the case may be. After losing Gardner Johnson, I know you went out and got Kevin Byard, but that might just be a rental type of player. Cameron Kitchens is a baller, safety. Um, Arguably the best one in the class. It's obviously with him and Nubbin. Um, so we're going Kitchens here for Philly pick. All right, second round starting up. Carolina. They could either go receiver or literally, I mean, they could literally go anywhere. To be honest, they suck. Bryce Young, not looking like the guy right now. To be honest with you. I mean, I'm not giving up on him by any means, but you're really kicking yourself if you passed on Stroud and took Young instead. But it is what it is. You gotta live with beds you made for yourself. So I said all last year that CJ Stroud was the best quarterback in the draft, and look at what happened. So, all right, we're gonna go with. I feel like they need some speed at receiver. You got Mingo that you just picked up. He's a bigger body. Thielen's a bigger body, but he's on the verge of retirement. They don't have any like speedster underneath type of players, so we're gonna go with AD Mitchell here for Carolina. Arizona's back on the board. They could use, like I said, anything defensively. We already got edge. I would love to take a corner, find one worthy, because corners kind of took a hit. I'm gonna go with Denzel Burke. They definitely need corners, man. I mean, like Byron Murphy was the only one they had, and he obviously left last season to go play with Minnesota, so they need to start getting some talent back there. New England, look, Caleb Williams, they could really go receiver as well here. I mean, I would if I'm them because there's nobody catching the ball there. It's probably why Mac Jones is failing as a quarterback. So we're gonna go um, like Smith shoot like a possession catch guy. They don't even really throw him the ball. Demario Douglas is smaller end. Probably looking to go a little bigger here. So we're gonna go with Brian Thomas out of LSU. Brian Thomas Jr. Patriots. Play on the other side. Probably put Demario Douglas in the slot and Thomas on the outside, I guess, or Kendrick Bourne, whatever the hell you want to choose. Washington, they took tackle with the first pick. Um, they need edge, like I talked about earlier. I almost forgot because they got rid of Chase Young and shit. So JT Tuimoloau still sitting here. That's a mash pick right there. Green Bay on the clock. I think I think I'm just gonna go get Nubbin here. Get your secondary some more help. Like I said, I think the receivers are okay enough. That or, you know, keep Christian Watson on the outside, Jaden Reed in the slot. Maybe go get yourself like Xavier Worthy on the side, and Romeo Dubs is kind of just the. But Dubs gets most of their catches. We're gonna go with Tyler Nubbin here, safety. Okay. Giants are up, and they're happy because they have some options here. They could go with tackle, and Evan Neal can kick into guard because he's looked like crap on the other. They went and got tackle last year, um, or not last year, 2 years ago. I'm sorry, with Evan Neal. They have Andrew Thomas and Evan Neal. Evan Neal hasn't looked good, so you can play guard if you kick him in, put a tackle on the other side. To do that, or like I said, there is just nothing good about them really. So we're gonna go with Xavier Worthy here. Offense, offense, offense. All right, Tennessee's up, and they passed on a tackle to get Keon Coleman earlier in the draft. They also passed on a Bowers as well. Um, so easy pick here for me. It's going to be Patrick Paul to play tackle and help their O-line, help Will Levis have some time to throw the football. Washington. I'm going with Davion Sanders for Washington, second round. And get somebody young in there to play after Logan Thomas decides he's finished. Tampa Bay. Here's where, talked about possibly going quarterback earlier. I said Baker has played well enough, in my opinion, to earn himself another year. JJ McCarthy here would be very interesting because he's a little raw. He needs a little bit of time, I believe, in NFL. And already have Baker there, but he's not your future, and you know that. So maybe you bring McCarthy in, and he can sit under Baker. But I'm probably gonna do it regardless. But I think Baker's gonna throw a fit like he always does, and he's not gonna want to mentor his replacement because he thinks he thinks he's still a great starting quarterback in this league. But regardless, I don't care about that. JJ McCarthy's the pick here. All right, Las Vegas Raiders up. Their D line and their corners are not good. Talked about this already. As far as corner goes, there's some players I don't mind, but I feel like Leonard Taylor is still sitting here. Might be the pick for me because their only one on the D line that actually does anything is Max Crosby. I think you need to get him some help and a hole plugger because they get gashed on run a lot, and well, they get gashed period. But let's go get Leonard Taylor. Los Angeles Chargers. They skipped out on corner to go get Brock Bowers, and we're gonna go with thinking. Let me think it through. Because I wouldn't mind getting a receiver for them too. Keenan Allen, Mike Williams, and then like Quentin Johnson has been a complete bust. Plus, I know Keenan Allen can play slot and shit, and you could have had like Johnson on the outside, Williams on the outside, and Keenan Allen in the slot, but Johnson sucks. So maybe you go get Troy Franklin here, keep adding to that offense, or go Kenyon Mitchell, get a cornerback. J.C. Jackson has not turned out too well for them, so I think I'm going to go Mitchell. They need help on the back end. They can find another receiver a little later. All right, Eagles are up, and once again, I feel like there are players just sitting there for them. um, they've invested a lot into the offensive line. Continue to do that here, or my little fun pick I'm gonna do is just keep making that offense ridiculous. We're gonna get Troy Franklin for the Eagles. He's gonna play in the slot with Monte Smith and AJ Brown on the outside. Swift at running back, Hurts, and then Goddard's pretty good if he wasn't like hurt this year and having a bad season or whatever. Continue to add to that beast offense. Buffalo is also very mad because that's who they were gonna take. Um, um, I took Cooper DeJean to play safety. Not gonna do that as far as getting Bullard here. Um, I want to. You know what? I kind of like the idea of like Lad McConkey. Like they could use another receiver. Gabriel Davis, I think, is gone after this. So all you have is Diggs and like Shakir. I think like not to be like throwing the colors of people out here, but like that like white Josh Allen to white Lad McConkey hookup. I don't know. It might be like a Cooper Cup type of situation. Josh Allen, one of the best quarterbacks in the league, throwing to this cat. I kind of dig it. So I'm going to take Lad McConkey, Buffalo. Giants up here. Passed on the tackle to go get Worthy because their receivers are trash. I still think, we keep adding to the O line. Keep adding to the offense. Their defense could use some help here or there, but I think they're pretty solid. And I think their offense doesn't fall besides Barkley. So we're going to go with I was thinking about going Guyton here. I'm gonna go with Guyton. Evan Neal guard. All right, Rams are up. They also need tackle. So we're gonna go with Mattia. I hope I've pronounced that correct. All right. Since he's up, they took a tackle in the first. I'm thinking maybe first running back comes off now because they still have Mixon, but I think his contract is coming up here and a little bit like he's been around for a bit, and even if they keep him, they have nobody else. Like if he would go down, it's like Chase Brown and stuff, like nobody like worth anything. So you could go there, or you could get some help for Trey Hendrickson on the D line because again, he's like the only one that does anything over there. So we're gonna go. Let's get T'Vondre Sweat, Bengals, and they'll just have to ride with Mixon. Orleans. I hate picking for New Orleans because I feel like they could do. I don't know. I don't ever know who to take for them. Um, Only thing I'm really thinking here is receiver because Michael Thomas probably done. Got Olave. That's it. Johnny Wilson. I'm not like a huge fan, but he's like 6'7" or something. So that'd be like a crazy big target since Olave is kind of on the smaller end of things, or Jalen Polk. Might be a little too early for Polk though. And I'm not really feeling Wilson that much either, honest. Maybe they can go get like a free agent receiver and bring him in, possibly. Like, what if like T. Higgins went there or something? That'd be pretty crazy. I don't know. I don't know what I want. Let's just go with Johnny Wilson. Screw it. 6'7" target to replace Michael Thomas. I don't know. Screw it. All right. Steelers up. Went with Nate Wiggins in the first. They could possibly go with another tackle here. They could go with a safety here. Because after the loss of, as much as nobody cared for him after losing Edmonds, like KZ has been okay, but he's not a long-term solution. Safety. Um, they could go with linebacker, because but we made a lot of signings as far as the line. Right now everyone's banged up, but like Landon Roberts is fine, Holcomb is fine. You know, I think that they maybe hold on to those guys for right now. And I'm gonna go with Kalen Bullock, play safety. Our defense is gonna be ridiculous. Now, if we could just get our offense to actually do anything, but hey, at least we have a pretty like decent young after they've invested in it, picks the last draft and shit. Like the defense is like fairly on the younger side of things now. So have that steel curtain be for years to come, and maybe we can figure it out with going on offense. Is Pickett the answer? I don't know. I would like to think so, yes. It seemed like after Matt Canada left, we were starting to throw the football better. But then Pickett got hurt. Now you got Rabumsky in there. He sucks. Like Mason Rudolph is shit. I mean, it's amazing because as much shit you want to talk on Kenny Pickett after he goes out of the game, we can't do anything. So give the man a little bit of respect because Kenny Pickett's out. Can't even get a first down, pretty much. So, all right, Green Bay. Maybe this is where the first running back comes off because they're like AJ Dillon and Aaron Jones. I think Aaron Jones might be gone. Didn't play well this year. I think they need to get younger in that spot. So I think I'm gonna do it. Um, I don't know. I've seen people having Jonathan Brooks as the number one back, Trey Benson as the number one back, Ravion Henderson as the number one back, and Corum. I don't know which one I like. Um, let's just go with Henderson, just based upon their ranks right now. I like Benson too, but I don't know. There's something about like Florida State running backs. They come into the league and they're just not really that great. So we're gonna go with Henderson instead. Minnesota. They didn't go quarterback yet either, but there's none left to go with. Um, that kind of sucks. I think Quinn Ewers, I like him, but he's going back to school, I believe. So they're gonna go with. I'm gonna go corner here and get somebody to help out Byron Murphy, and for me, it's gonna be a Tampa. Go with him for Minnesota. Atlanta, we already went quarterback. They need receiver. They have nobody to throw the ball to. But then again, it's like, well, they've got Bo Nix, okay. So we can actually throw the football now. So with that being the case, let's go get Jalen Polk to play on the opposite side of Drake London. Because Mac Hollins ain't your guy. Indy took edge already. They're another team that could have went receiver. Um, go D line, anywhere on the D line. Well, we already went edge, so maybe we take one of these interior players. Jeremiah Trotter still sitting here. Could possibly linebacker. Darius Leonard is gone. I don't know. Like I said, my first mock of this year, so I'm still getting myself familiarized with all the players. I know obviously a good share of them, but still working my way through my like evaluations and stuff. Um, go with go with Michael Hall. Get them a interior D line player. Cleveland, that's what they need as well. So that's probably where we're gonna end up going, either that or Jeremiah Trotter. They're I think I'm still gonna go D line though, and go with uh go with Mason Smith. Their D line is just not good. Like their edges are fine, but the interior of their D line just is gashed. So some help there. Went Braylon Trice for Houston with the first pick. It's still gonna be defense for probably. Let's get DJ James out of Auburn. Get somebody across from Stingley to help their defense. 'Cause it's all defense for Houston, in my opinion. Their offense is, I mean, they could use a running back maybe Pierce is like, and Singletary's been handling most of the workload this year. So Jacksonville went with offensive line with the first pick, and I like the idea of getting another receiver, but I don't. There's not one particular one that I'm even looking at here. Like none of these guys are be going this early. So go D line and get Chris Jenkins. Went O line, then D line. Kansas City. For me, it's either safety with Bullard or um, you could go with one of these offensive line players. Just get Faltanu, Roy Faltanu. I don't remember correctly. Oh, he's obviously listed as a tackle here, but I think he might profile as a guard as well. But either way, they need like some support on either one of those things. So wherever he ends up, be the pick. Getting down to the nitty gritty here. How many we got left? Okay, a couple more. 6. All right, Detroit. Same thing. Probably going to be defense. We already got Lassiter first round. Go edge to get someone across from Aiden Hutchinson, but one that I would take here probably be Braswell if I was going to go there. Jeremiah Trotter, but you just took what's his name last year, the white linebacker Campbell. Maybe you don't go linebacker. Well, let's do it. Let's go Braswell. Get another edge player. Detroit. Dallas is up. I'm going to go with Jeremiah Trotter Jr. for Dallas. Should have probably already been off the board at this point. First linebacker taken. They could use, so makes sense to me. I'm gonna probably go with for Baltimore here. They need some defensive back help. I'll go with Josh Newton. San Francisco. I don't know. I feel like it's still defense. They get torched on the back end. I mean, not like, but we're gonna go with Javon Bullard. Get them a safety there. So now you went corner safety, and that should help out because they score enough, but they also, I mean, I don't want to say they let up a bunch of points because they don't. They get mad sacks, but teams do put up a fight against San Francisco here. All right, Miami. We went offensive tackle with the first pick. And Morgan. And I'm gonna go with Kalen Carson out of Wake Forest. Get them a cornerback to help out there. They get kind of torched too. Their offense just puts up so many points, but their defense allows. It's like the same situation as like um well, not the same situation as San Francisco, but because they actually have a good defensive front. But You know what I'm trying to say. And then here goes Philly. They took safety and then wide receiver Kinchins, Franklin. And let's go get they just love to do it so much, and I'm not really seeing anything else I really want right now. It's gonna keep adding to the offensive line, and for me, it's gonna be Cedric Van Pran. So that's gonna do it for a 2-round mock. I'm going to show you real quick. I'll scroll through all the picks that was made for both rounds here. So the Bears go with Drake May, pick number 1. Patriots, Caleb Williams. Arizona goes Marvin Harrison Jr. Olu Fashanu goes to Washington. Malik Neighbors lands Chicago. Jets pull Joe Alt. Giants grab Jaden Daniels. Titans Keon Coleman. Saints get J.C. Latham. The Bucks go with Laiatu Latu. Raiders send the pick in for Penix to see if they can actually figure the quarterback situation out. Brock Bowers ends up with the Chargers, another weapon for that offense. Roma Dunze goes to Denver. Jean to the Buffalo. Herzon Newton, Seattle. Clay McKinstry to the Rams. Amarius Mims to the Bengals. Nate Wiggins ends up in Pittsburgh. Bo Nix goes to Atlanta. East Fuaga to the Pack. Jared Verse ends up with uh, Vikings. Placed in Hunter. Chop Robinson goes to Arizona. Play alongside BJ Ojari. Dallas Turner ends up with the Colts. Braylon Trice with Houston. Egbuka goes to Kansas City. Graham Barton goes to Jacksonville. Terrion Arnold to the Cowboys. Lassiter goes to Detroit. San Fran gets Kalen King. Ravens go with Xavier Legette. Then Miami Dolphins get Jordan Morgan, and the get Cameron Kinchins. Second round, A.D. Mitchell goes to Panthers. Denzel Burke to Arizona. Brian Thomas Jr. Pats. JT Tuimoloau to Washington. Tyler Nubbin goes to Green Bay. Xavier Worthy goes to the Giants. Patrick Paul to the Titans. Jatavion Sanders to Washington. J.J. McCarthy to Tampa Bay. Leonard Taylor goes to Raiders. Kenyon Mitchell goes to Chargers. Troy Franklin to the Eagles. Lab McConkey goes to Buffalo. Tyler Guyton, Giants. Kingsley Omataya goes to Rams. T'Vondre Sweat to the Bengals. Johnny Wilson goes to Saints. Kalen Bullock goes to the Steelers. Trayvon Henderson, Pack. TJ Tampa goes to Minnesota. Jalen Polk goes to Atlanta. Michael Hall Jr. to the Colts. Mason Smith to the Browns. DJ James goes to Chris Jenkins to Jags. Baltanu to Kansas City. Braswell to Detroit. Jeremiah Trotter Jr. Cowboys. Josh Newton to the Ravens. Vaughn Bullard to San Fran. Kalen Carson to Miami. And Cedric Van Pran goes to the Eagles. That'll finish out my round mock draft. We're going to keep doing more of these as the season goes on. I'm going to familiarize myself with a lot more of these players that I can do. I mean, I've done 7-rounders before. I know most of the players. There's still some, I'll be honest, that I don't know right now. But we're still early into this process. And I'm going to start going through my evaluations on every position. And I'll come up with my my rankings, my position rankings after I do that. And I can show you guys those once I complete them if you'd like to see them. But for now, I'm out, and thank you guys for tuning in. I appreciate everybody that comes in here and subscribes or likes my content. Um, I am going to start up a new podcast to do these on because my last one, like I said in the beginning of the video, we all shared the accounts. I did not create the accounts. Now I don't remember the passwords for them. I can't get on the email to get the password or like to recover the account because it's not my email, even though I did all the work for it the last time that it was up and running. Um, but that's nor here nor there. I'll start something on my own because, you know, I can rely on myself and not have to rely on anybody else. I can do my own content. I can do everything alone. And sometimes it's better that way because you rely on other people and they always let you down. I'm going to stick with this stuff and where it goes from here. But everybody have a good night. Appreciate everybody watching. Praise Jesus, and I'll see you in the next one.